Hello students, I'm here to take up another English language class. Today I'm going to give you some important tips on how to write a composition, and along with that I'll be discussing the format of notice as well as email. But before I move on to of mine who have sincerely watched my previous video. So before I begin, children, my advice is each one of you must watch these videos very sincerely and mustn't miss any of them. So here we go. The first example of an affirmative sentence. Only a prince can afford such a luxury. This is an affirmative. Now the negative of this would be no one except a prince can afford such a luxury. He will not find the journey comfortable. The second sentence. It's a negative one, and the example of this is he will find the journey uncomfortable. This is an affirmative sentence. The third example. No one denied that she was clever. Everyone affirmed that she was clever. Now, as you can see, there are certain words that are underlined. So, one technique of changing affirmative to negative and negative to affirmative could be that you write the opposite meaning of the word given. For example, here in negative it is comfortable. You frame a sentence in such a way that the meaning of the opposite meaning of the word comfortable, that is uncomfortable, is used in your sentence. Same goes here for the negative one. The word denied, which is not underlined here, but that should have been underlined. So denied, affirmed, the two opposite words. Now, in my previous class, I have already instructed you that when you change a sentence from one form to another, you must do it in such a way that you do not change the meaning of the sentence. So, my dear children, I hope you've understood the previous chapter interchange of sentences well. Now we move on to the most important question in an English language examination, which relates to composition. You are asked to write a piece of prose in about 350 words. The objective of this question is to test your ability to express yourself in a well-organized, clear, precise and accurate English. Your composition should be logically planned and laid out well. Even the most creative original writing will be awarded a low grade if it contains grammatical and linguistic errors. So here we go. A composition consists of mainly three parts: introduction, body and the conclusion. So children, when you write a composition, you must clearly introduce the topic to the reader, and there's absolutely no need of writing these as your headings. You don't have to mention any subheadings there. Then we come to the body or the main composition, which consists of a lot of descriptions if the topic requires descriptions. If it's an argumentative topic, you need to put in your arguments. You need to put in all your points related to the topic. And the third is the conclusion. You must conclude your composition in such a way that the reader is able to understand your viewpoint. If it's a story, you must conclude with a moral. Now, the basic requirements of a good composition are the choice of topic. Now, you have to be very careful while choosing a topic. You must try to choose a topic which would seem to be interesting to the reader. And also, obviously, it should interest you. So the choice of topic is extremely important. Now, when you choose a topic, you should try to think of all the matter that you're going to write there. All that on which you can write easily, on which you can provide personal details, in which you can show originality. So these are the things that you must keep in mind before you choose a topic. Keywords. Keywords refer to words such as define, narrate, compare, explain, discuss, describe, and so on. They are introduced because they specify the composition questions. Next, we come to precautions. Now, precautions while you write a composition are very, very important. Now, precautions can be subdivided into a number of parts. For example, relevant. Now, you must write sentences which are actually relevant to the given topic. There should be no memorized material. You shouldn't mug up a composition and write. There should be some originality in your composition. Length of the composition. You're asked to write a composition of about 300 to 350 words. So you must adhere to the limit of the composition. You can calculate the length by counting the number of lines. Next is simple English. Children, do not try to use a very flowery language. Use simple English words and make your composition interesting. And another very important point is legible writing. The handwriting of the students who obtain a credit is better than that of those students who fail. Poor handwriting is regarded as a sign of laziness and carelessness. So avoid bad handwriting. Another very important thing is that you must read regularly. The best way to improve your English and your composition is to read regularly. Do not read old-fashioned books. Read modern books of science, fiction, detective stories, books with a historical theme, adventure. Reading of newspapers and magazines is also of great help. Regular reading builds up your vocabulary. Set yourself a daily target and just stick to it. And now in class 9, children, it's extremely important for you to do regular reading. Do not expect a sudden improvement within a week. But if you continue to read regularly, after 2 or 3 months, your English will definitely improve. So I hope after watching this video, many of you will start reading if you have not yet. Now we come to the format of notice. Now, notice writing seems to be very simple, but certain things have to be kept in mind. And a notice has to be written, as you can see in the slide, in the same way. Marks are also given on the right side to help you to understand the importance of every heading and subheading while writing a notice. You need not write the word notice. the first important thing that you must write is a creative heading or a very catchy heading. For example, if you have to write about an event, an art competition to be held in your school, you can write a catchy heading like play with colors or a colorful bonanza or anything like that. I'm sure my students are very innovative and creative and they'll come up with real attractive headings. Then we come to the next point, and that is name of the event. For example, inter-school art competition. That too carries 1 mark. Then we come to on. On means the date on which the event is going to be held. And as you can see in the slide, please write the date in the same manner. 6th April, capital A, 2020. That carries half a mark. From, where you're supposed to write the timings, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Another half a mark. Next we come to at. This means the venue where the event is going to be held. So it consists of 2 things, the small venue and the bigger venue. For example, Ashoka Hall. Next would be, comma, St. Anthony's School. Or you can even write Hall 1, Hall 2, Hall 3, comma, Dr. VSPS. That carries 1 mark. Then we come to the body of the notice, which has to be very precise. For example, all the students who wish to participate can give their names to Mrs. Suruchi Tripathi on or before 30th March, 2020. And a full stop. A full stop is very important in English language. Always end your sentence with a full stop. Now we come to the format of an email. Before I give you the details of the format, let me tell you a few things about an email. An email, also known as electronic mail, is a method of exchanging digital messages across internet or other computer networks. It is the quickest way to communicate in writing. So, emails, messages can be of 3 types: formal, semi-formal and informal. Email messages consist of 2 major sections: the header, which has sender, receiver, subject, date and time, and the body, which consists of the message. It could be formal or informal, and they depend on the rules of a letter. They are exactly like the rules of a letter. But the body of an email is precise and not as long as that of a letter, whether it's a formal one or an informal one. Before I go ahead with the format, let me first tell you about the formal salutation. Now, salutation in a formal email requires dear sir, or it could be dear madam. Informal salutation, dear John, or any name that you can think of. Or you can write dear uncle, dear aunt, dear granddad, dear grandmom. And my dear children, never ever write dada, dadi, chacha, chachi. Not at all. Then we come to the formal subscription. That's another important thing that you must note. Yours faithfully. In a formal subscription, Y should be capital, F small. And for an informal subscription, Y again capital, yours affectionately, or it could be lovingly, A small. Now we come to the format of an email. So we begin with to, where you have to write a complete email ID. For example, bluebellschool@gmail.org. That carries half a mark. Then we write the subject, which should contain 5 to 6 characters appropriate to the given topic. Do not write 2 lines for the subject, or in fact not even one long line. It should just have 5 to 6 characters. Next is salutation. Dear sir, or it could be dear madam, and a comma. Children, here you can see in the slide a comma has been put, and that's extremely important. If you don't put a comma, you don't get any mark. So if a comma is there, you'll get half a mark. Then we come to the body of the email. It consists of 3 paragraphs, just like we do it in a letter, but they have to be very precise, very short. 2 things have to be kept in mind while writing the body: the opening sentence and the closing sentence, as they both carry marks. The opening sentence could be, this is to inform, and so on. Like, this is to inform that there's going to be an event held in our school, so we would like you to be our chief guest, or something like that. Then the closing sentence, when you're going to end your formal letter, you must write in this manner: I will be highly obliged for this kind favor of yours. And then you write another sentence, waiting in anticipation for your reply. That too carries half a mark. And last important point is subscription, where you write thanking you, capital T. Now, thanking you can be omitted also. It's not compulsory to write that, but yours faithfully is a must, and that carries half a mark. Capital Y, small f, and a comma. Again, you can see in the slide there is a comma. So, my dear children, this is the end of this second class of English language. I hope I've been very clear in explaining the format of notice email and telling you the importance of writing a good composition. So I hope for the best. Do a lot of reading. Thank you.